Welcome to another Nickel and Dime Travels video, everyone. Well, it's been quite a while since our last video. Why, you might ask? Some might call it sheer laziness, but I would prefer to think of it as taking a break from the rigors of video editing so we can create the best possible content for you. Now that that's out of the way, let's continue the video. This time around, we'll be taking a look at our stay at the Prince Waikiki Hotel in Honolulu, Hawaii. I have to say that we really enjoyed our stay here, and we're very impressed with the amenities and level of service provided, and would definitely look forward to another stay in the future. So here we are on our way to our room, which was club level room on the 33rd floor overlooking the harbor. We were in a corner room at the end of this hall. This is room 3301. As you step through the door, the bathroom is immediately on your left and the closet to your right. You'll see the bed in the center of the room flanked by nightstand areas on each side of it. And off to the side there's a corner couch with a coffee table area. This was reasonably comfortable, although a bit on the firmer side of things, as hotel couches so often are. As we cross through the room, you'll see the open window and viewing area, which we'll come back to, and on the right side is a large screen TV with some storage underneath it. Now let's take a look inside the main hallway closet, which does provide a good amount of storage for your things. And that's especially true when your wife has ordered several hundred additional hangers from the front desk. Just look at all of that storage. Isn't it amazing? So let's close that up and move on from the closet, as exciting as that is, and move toward our favorite part of the room, and that's the view we had out over the harbor area in Waikiki. We spent a lot of our time in the room just looking out this large window and taking in all of the sights and sounds around us. A few things of note: this man-made lagoon to the left of our hotel was actually located next to a neighboring hotel, the Hilton Hawaiian Village. It's a 5-acre lagoon owned by the state of Hawaii. While it's technically free for anyone to use this, that didn't stop the Hilton from setting up shop nearby and charging what we thought to be an exorbitant price for swimming equipment, from small stand-up paddle rafts to aqua bikes. And as we move over to our right, the rest of the harbor begins to come into sight, and we start to experience the full view of what we were treated to each day. Over to the right, we have an interesting landmark called the Magic Island. This is a man-made peninsula featuring high-level walls blocking off a shallow lagoon. This limits the impact of the waves and would make it a little easier for those kids or adults to swim without dealing with the full demands of the ocean waters. As we return to our room tour, we finish looking down onto the harbor area, and we start to move through the other side of the room. And we see a small desk, which we did use to eat our morning breakfast once or twice. It's big enough for about 2 people max. Now we move to the countertop area with the requisite coffee maker, pods, and a microwave. Under the countertop there are several drawers for storage, which gave us enough room to store a few clothes and personal items, nothing too big, but could be used to store any small leftovers from your closet space. And lastly, we have a mini fridge with enough space to store a few drinks or some leftovers. At the end of the countertop, there was some additional space left over to put our backpacks, and then the luggage rack handled our carry-on baggage. And now we'll finish up the room tour with a look at the bathroom, which had a pretty unique layout and was one of the highlights of the room. As you walk into the room, you'll see 2 covered doors. Behind door number 1 is the shower, and door number 2 is for the toilet. As we move to the left, you'll see the sink countertop area, and then on the far right is the separate soaking tub, which was a pretty decent size. As we move past the many toiletries we brought with us, you'll see the standard provided hotel toiletries on the left. We made ample use of these, and may have even possibly taken a few home, although I can't confirm or deny that. So let's open that door number 2 and take a look at the commode, which, to be honest, at first glance had me a little worried, as it appeared like you might need an engineering schematic to be able to operate it. There was a large array of controls here on the left-hand side that go way beyond simply flushing the toilet, but includes operations for the bidet or total washlet. However, we did get used to the operation over time. That brings us back to door number 1, which is a pretty standard square shower stall, which did include an adjustable hand shower unit and a decent amount of storage on the far side. So that brings us to the end of the room tour, but as this was actually a club level room, there is a little more to talk about here. The club level rooms at the Prince Waikiki also include access to the hotel's club lounge, which provides a daily breakfast, lunch, and dinner service. We found this to be a pretty good value, as the restaurants in the Waikiki Beach area tend to be very overpriced and many times offer average food, in our opinion. Let's take a look inside the lounge to show you what it looks like. The club is on the lower level of the hotel and directly overlooks the harbor area, providing a nice close-up view of the boats. While there isn't a ton of seating space here, it did seem to accommodate everyone we saw entering the club and managed to never really feel crowded. On the other side of the club, you'll see the hotel's 2 pools, the adults-only pool on the far side and family pool towards the right. Moving towards the rear side of the lounge, you'll see the interior of the club, where the servers brought out your food order, and there are also a couple of TVs here if you wanted to watch something while eating. So let's take a look at the food that was offered. Breakfast was served in Japanese bento box style, and usually included an egg, meat, and a griddle dish of pancakes, French toast, or similar. And there was always rice included with the meal, along with an option of a soup, which I assume is more of a Japanese thing. We were also offered a plate of pastries with our breakfast, along with coffee or juice. We didn't partake too much in the midday snack or lunch options, as we often just didn't have time for this. The options typically included some type of soup and a basic sandwich with chips. Nothing too fancy, I would have called it more of a snack option really. Dinner was typically more substantial, offering a main entree and a dessert, which we felt they did a pretty good job of providing variety throughout the week. There were always vegetarian options available, however we normally just stuck with whatever was on the menu for that day. So that brings us to the end of our review of the Prince Waikiki Hotel in Oahu, Hawaii. Overall, I would say we left pretty impressed with the offering. Depending on the time of year you go and the level of demand, we felt opting for the club level room was a good value and probably saved us quite a bit of money over booking individual restaurants for the duration of our stay. Overall, we highly recommend this hotel for the amenities and services provided, and we'll probably return here the next time we visit Hawaii. Thanks everyone for watching.